Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tales from Reddit, a series where I read Reddit stories to you. And today we're reading from r/entitled parents. Let's get on with this. So, first story was posted by user Optimal Did KO. Title of this chapter is My Mom Shut Down an AM in the Bookstore. Let's get on with this. It's a medium-sized story, so let's go. In Bulgaria, the first day of school is the 15th of September. I don't know for other countries. And the weeks and days before it. It's like the gold rush, except there isn't gold, but school books, photos for school, identification, yada yada yada. That's the actual gold mine for bookstores and online stores, lol. So I and my mom are lined up at one of the bookstores nearby in front of us. There's about 6 people, but the queue was moving fast since there's 2 workers there. Behind us is another 3 to 4 people. After about 6, 7 minutes in the bookstore is empty, so me and my mom enter, as well as the people behind us, soon to be entitled mom and not entitled boy, my age, important info later. We say which books exactly we need, and the nice lady starts picking them one by one from the shelves. I hear that some of the books we need are on the EM's list as well, but I didn't mind much. Just before my mom pays, seriously, these bookstores are a daylight robbery, the EM starts yelling about how the book she needs is out of stock. My mom just ignored her, but believe it or not, it was not in us the book she needs, and goes, "Hey, I see ya book by author. Do you mind if you give it to me since it's the last one?" No, we need it as well. Rude. Okay, I'll have it then. Just pay for it and give it to me. Listen now, lady. Neither I'll I won't be giving you this book, nor will I pay it for you. Stop talking to me now. Excuse me. Who do you think you're talking to? Oh no, Prime Mayor's wife or the president? What? No? Sad. No, I'm a mother. I have rights. I have more rights than you. And I have more brain than you. Do you really think I'm going to buy a full set of books for the 12th grader for anyone other than my son who's standing right next to me? I don't know, you're probably dumb and trying to learn something from these books. Before saying how dumb I am, first tie you and your son's laces. Also, tell him to zip up his jeans. Gross, okay? Then the EM went silent and just stopped talking. My mom paid and we went out. She was laughing the whole way home. I can't exactly see my mother doing that exactly, but I can imagine, like, EM just bothering my mother and me being like, "Hey, yo, shut the hell up," basically. Anyway, so on to the next story. This story was posted by user Minty Teens. Okay. The title of this chapter is Entitled Dad Tries to Gaslight, Manipulate, and Extort Me for 9K. And over a used Prius because I got the cough, cough, sniffle, sniffle vaccine. It's a long story, so let's start. A little bit before the story, OP just wanted to say that they apologize. It's going to be pretty long and might actually belong in r/range by narcissist, but since they're anti-vaxxer Karens, OP's posting it here. That's okay. I'm pretty sure we won't mind. Anyways, on to the story. So my parents are complete anti-vaxxer Darrens. We're talking full-on vaccine causes autism and coronaviruses invented by Bill Gates' mind controllers, all with the spike proteins, horse pace guzzling types with no sense of personal responsibility or empathy for others. I repeatedly watched them get kicked out of businesses for refusing to wear a mask, and my Karen mother even had a meltdown in a grocery store that I'm surprised wasn't recorded and blasting all over the internet, but that's not what the story is about. The problem came around when I was when I, NB 24, got the vaccine for work. Oh no. My job has me dealing with a lot of people, and a large amount of them are elderly, pregnant, or immune compromised. I figured I'd just get it and not tell them since I live about an hour away in the next state over and, at the time, visit them once a week on my day off. After my second shot, I got a little sick. Note, if you got the shot, make sure you drink a lot of electrolyte drinks after or you'll feel like crap. And while laid up in bed, I called my sister, who lives 4 hours away, because it was her birthday. During the conversation, I mentioned that I got the vaccine. Unbeknownst to me, my caring mother was in the car with her during a visit. I didn't know about it and heard every word. She proceeds to have a 5 alarm meltdown at my sister's house, saying that I'm going to die while my sister gives me a play by play via text. When my mother returned at the end of the week, she called me and told me that I'm no longer allowed over at the house unless I take the supplements she got off Facebook to stop the spike proteins, and that I'm not allowed to visit my brother, who is 39 and lives 2 states over, or his kids. At this point, I had enough of her crap, and I told her my health is none of her business, and whether or not I can visit is my brother's decision, not her. She exploded, and I hung up the phone. An important thing to note here is that the car I drive, a used Prius, technically belonged to my grandparents. After my grandmother had a stroke and got in a car crash, a minor one where no one was injured, thank God, they decided to give me the car since I needed one, and told my dad to make that happen since he had power of attorney. He agreed to do it in exchange for 2.5K that he put towards the 90K parent plus loan he has for my college. I gave him $600 a month in addition to paying my own loans to help, since it's a lot of money. Even through his salary is around 200K and I make $17 an hour. Midway through my exile, I decided to try to be the bigger person and clear things up with Mom. I invited her out to lunch to listen to her concerns and establish some boundaries for both of us so we can move on with our relationship. I know that sounds dumb, but I thought since she gave birth to me, I could reason with her and we could talk it out like adults. Well, that didn't happen. The entire lunch, she treated me like I was a disease. She wouldn't touch or hug me, and kept her food as far away from me as possible. When I try to broach the subject of apologizing and patching this up, she launches into a tirade about how she will not compromise or walk on eggshells for me. For no reason, she drags my sexuality into this. I've been openly queer since I was a teen, and while they're not openly disapproving, they still avoid the topic like the plague. Never told them I was non-binary because I knew how they'd react. Instead, since it makes her uncomfortable, that I need psychological help. Oh, I so want a facepalm. That was my last straw. I said goodbye, walked away from the table, and decided to go no contact while I grieved and made a plan for how to move forward. Fast forward a few weeks when I went to renew my tabs and made an appointment to renew my license. They get sent to my parents' house because my dad still holds the title. Since I still had limited contact with my dad, and I asked him about it, and we agreed to get the car title settled. I tell him I'll go anywhere but the house to do it because I didn't want to face Mom while I was angry and say something to her that I'd regret. He kept moving the time and place around until last night he called and finally said either I come to the house to confront them or he'll call the police. I reminded him that they both forbade me from going back to the house, and I crap you not, he went full gaslight and said, "No, we didn't. You're making stuff up." I tell him I'm not going to the house, and that's when he told me I needed to come back for the title paperwork and sign a promissory note. I asked him what the promissory note is for. He told me it's an agreement to pay the Parents Plus loan back to him. He literally said, the only leverage it was the only leverage he had over me, And if I didn't sign, I wasn't getting the car. I told him it wasn't my loan, and he got really angry and called me a bunch of names. He ended the conversation by telling me either I show up at the house or forfeit the free car. I asked for my 2.5K back, then he told me to screw off. After a night of crying, I called my sister and made a plan to close the bank account my dad has access to and just get a different car with the money I have in my savings, and leave my grandparents' car and key in their driveway while they're gone, and just mail them some money each month for the loan without a return address. I use a Prius. It's not worth signing my life away to some entitled POS. Ooh, ooh. That was a bit of a long one. Meh. That, honestly, yeah, I probably would have done something somewhat similar. Though, knowing your parents, they're probably gonna like call you or something like that. So block them. And if you do block them, they're gonna end up trying to go to your house or something like that. In which case, I would just say, okay, yeah, no, that I'm not doing that. So probably would be best to look for somewhere to at least move to. That's if they do know where you live. If they don't know, you're still good, I guess. But just in case, I would at least be looking. I wouldn't specifically say I'm moving at this. I wouldn't specifically say move there this instant, but just in case, look for a little bit because people like that, from the sounds of it, if you don't move and they know where you are, they'll constantly be coming by your house trying to get you to do whatever the hell they want you to do. Yeah, so it's just easier just to straight up move. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Have a good day, night, evening, afternoon. Bye.